What's up, everybody?
Working. That's what I'm doing.
What you working on?
Sprinkles. The bad girl. She sprung a leak.
Oh no.
Uh-huh. Right in there.
Yeah, we were walking by Sprinkles the other day and I ran my finger through it, but noticed a bit of diff fluid leaking, so you can see maybe up in there it's dripping down out of the seal. So you don't have to pull the whole diff to replace the seal unless you're replacing the pinion seal. But pretty easy repair. We're just taking tire off, of course. We'll pull the caliper off, pull the knuckle out, pop the axle out, pop the seal out, put a new seal in. And then give it a bath. So, do you want to tell everybody why Sprinkles is getting a bath after this? Which I guess she gets a bath after every ride. And that's how you notice stuff like that dripping, is if you don't have dirt caked up under your diff and transmission and engine.
That's
but anyway, she's gonna get maybe a nice detailed shine put on her.
We'll see about that. She's at least gonna get pressure washed. She's going to the Badlands next weekend, I guess, for an interview, and they're gonna show us around. I've never been, but they're giving away a Turbo S
For women.
for the international.
No, I think it's anything international.
Just the
I think
women's
it's just the Badlands
ride event.
Women Day.
I thought they said they teamed up with Polaris to do.
They did.
For the women's.
I don't know if it's that International Female Ride Day, but it's something for the ladies. Some more stuff for the ladies.
It's a women's ride day, and if you just show up, then you could win the Turbo S. And I want to win the Turbo S, which has nothing to do with next weekend, but hopefully they won't throw me out of being able to win because I have Sprinkles.
Yeah, so we asked about the contest. We asked about the contest and got invited up for an interview with them, I guess, to promote the giveaway.
And women's ride day.
Amber's never been there. I've been there once on a quad way back in the days. So I guess we'll get to work. I suppose.
Hopefully there's nothing else wrong with the diff.
No, shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be, but I think everybody in the world has that fear. You see fluid and, oh no.
Yeah.
And how expensive is this gonna be?
Should just be a seal. We didn't check. We just went and got a seal kit from Andrew at Shaft Stalls. Polaris.
Yeah, I didn't have any chatter and my four-wheel drive was working fine. It worked when I asked for it.
Which one thing I'm noticing about Shaft Stalls is we're kind of coming across a lot of parts that we need here or there on our stuff and everybody else's stuff. Kind of random parts, and you're like, oh, it's in stock. We got some.
That is nice.
So that's nice. Brake pads look good.
Surprisingly, she's a 2017. That's either bad because it shows that maybe I don't ride as much as you think I do, or maybe I don't use my brakes as much as you think I do.
Probably a combination of both.
But they're good.
Definitely need to ride more this year. We rode quite a bit last year once we got our razors dialed in. Get out to some new places this year. Windrock. Of course, we'll go back to Black Mountain, maybe Hawk Pride. Maybe try to find some new out-of-the-way places that don't really get much attention. Just try it out.
Yes.
Experimentize with everything.
Sounds good to me. Who did that.
You did? All right, so maybe we'll update here in a minute once we get all this stuff out of the way.
And hopefully it's not a bad update.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a anybody have a diff update or diff cover update.
Yeah.
But I mean, you wheeled some hard stuff and stressed some stuff, and you've not had a single chatter unlike mine.
Yeah. Just hoping. Hoping everything's just a seal.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll let you know.
Oh, I must not have been recording that.
Put it back in.
Oh no. So all we did, I thought the camera was on, but it wasn't. So all we did, that seal had a little rough spot, so you can take a pick or this skinny flathead screwdriver and just it wedged in there and just worked it out. It popped right out. So then the seal, there wasn't any visible damage to it, but other than the inside of the seal was extremely wet. It shouldn't be, so. You see, the old seal didn't have quite the lip feel to it. So just
Yeah,
worn.
it felt pretty flat.
Yeah, just worn out seal. And this is a 17, so.
Poor Sprinkles, the old lady.
She's getting so old. No, she's not.
She says she's only 2 months old.
All right. So we'll get this popped in. So new seal. I'm just gonna get it started with the thumbs. And it's started. And ideally you'd want a socket that could go around there, but we don't have one that big, so we're just taking a little punch and barely tap it into that outside diameter of the seal is flush with the cage. You don't want to push it in too far. Just baby taps all the way around it till it's flush, and your diff seal is not leaking anymore. Top it off with the fluid. We didn't have to drain our fluid just because it leaked out a little bit around there. So
She drained herself. Thank you, Sprinkles, for the help.
made it easy for us. So just top off your fluid, and then your diff's good to go. All right. So another thing we got into in the shop this weekend is we had a razor come by. Low speed, 15 miles an hour, just boom, transmission locked up. So we pulled it apart and we found that bearing went out, input shaft bearing up top. Luckily it was low speed enough that it did not destroy the case. Usually when that happens, that's where you see online the cases, both sides of the cases get blown up. So I don't think we've ever had a high mileage razor, but we probably will with these because we're super impressed with them. So I'm gonna say maybe at like when your razor gets like 2,500 miles, you might want to consider upgrading your bearings. Especially if you do a lot of road riding, high speed riding, generates more heat. But these junk China bearings just ain't holding up. So we got to get a bearing ordered. We got most of the, or all of the chunks out we can find. We still got to pop it out, flush it out. So that's maybe today's helpful hint is tip of the day to maybe consider updating, replacing, upgrading your transmission bearings if you're getting maybe over 2,000 miles on them. So I think it's not super expensive, I don't think. Parts are, Sandcraft's got a kit, I think $240, $50. It comes with all your bearings. So that's just something to keep in mind. We thought we might share with you just to do that. Of course, you know, can't do it, don't have time to do it. We're here. If you're close, willing to drive to us, we can do it. It's official. We got our paperwork. We have opened the shop officially. So not making this an advertisement or anything, just something we're kind of excited about. So, what?
I don't know.
I mean, that's all there really is to say about that. We've showed people how to do the transmissions, but the bearings aren't, I think they're good enough quality, but just anything. It's just like your pickup truck, your car, bearings get some miles on them, they're going to go bad. So I think those cases are about $500 a piece. So your bearing freezes up, blows your case open, and, you know, that's $1,000 just in your cases.
Yeah. Nobody likes big repair costs on stuff you already have that broke. Like, it's so much more fun to buy super fun goodies as opposed to a transmission case.
Yeah. And you know, when you're downtime over the winter or something, you know, just kind of that maintenance. You know, we've always done real good on maintenance, and we rarely have any mechanical issues. As far as something silly, you know, wheel falling off because whatever reason.
Well, I mean, I've had a wheel fall off and send it into no man's land about 100 feet in the air or so at a crowd of people, but that wasn't poor maintenance.
Yeah, that was
skinny pedal on a race hill and splines breaking.
Weekend somewhere, had the leaky axle seal we had to fix, and then the things with the Badlands come up, want us to go up there. So should we invite them? Anybody? This, like,
Yes.
it's short notice. 20th. That's this weekend.
Yeah, this coming weekend.
March 20th. This weekend, us and maybe a few friends, we're going to be up there at the Badlands in Attica, Indiana. Check it out. We've never had side-by-sides up there before.
We're going to check out the free razor they're giving away to a lucky lady May 1st at their event.
You can go check that out. But if you guys ain't doing anything, March 20th, Saturday, you guys want to come wheel, and we'll be there. It's supposed to be nice weather. Not like an official meet and greet or anything, but another invitation to anybody that's close want to come hang out, ride, whatever.
Yes.
We'll try it. Maybe it'll turn out better than Hawk Pride when just a bunch of Jeeps showed up.
Hey, we don't mind when the Jeeps show up, but they didn't show up to see us.
Well, just they didn't want to hang out with us. Not that we're asking, be like, hey guys, come hang out with us and see how cool we are. That's not the case at all. We just like wheeling, but yeah, they didn't come to hang out with us. They gave us dirty looks whenever we were riding by because we were razors.
Poor us.
Poor us. So, we've done some things. I guess it's kind of, we got a lot of people asking, you know, what we run, what we do this, what we do that. And I think there's some things that we've snuck in there.
Yeah.
So
we had the sprinkles walk around before, but
yeah, now she was new. She's got new tires since then. So
35-inch sticky Zillas.
like they've not heard us talking about those
I
enough.
know, I know.
Yeah.
Got the ORB suspension, tie rods,
Yeah.
shock therapy steering rack, which I'm pretty happy with.
You've not destroyed it. I mean, you've had it almost a year now.
I know,
That's amazing.
That's a world record for me. I usually,
So
I'm hard
it's
on them things.
so it's holding up to the 35s in some severe rocks really, really good.
We're loving our radios.
Yep.
I didn't know I'd use it so much, but it is awfully nice just to need something or someone in front of me having some trouble, because I typically wheel in the back of the pack while we're just driving around because I can't see behind me very well, and if you ever wheel with us, you'll see my face peeking through the Lexan here looking for you. So I prefer to just be in the back, and then
And you've still got the tree kickers on.
I know.
How many times have we said we're going to cut them off?
I'm cutting them off soon.
They kept you getting that frame twister
Yeah.
with that big old hole that doesn't look so big anymore.
Yeah.
And then Crawford's Cry, they kept you from getting up out of it.
I'll cut them.
Which we've got that video. I wonder if anybody wants to see that.
See me mad.
See Amber mad trying to get up something in limp mode. Let us know in the comments if you guys want to see that. We've got it on the computer.
All you'll see is a lot of grumpy faces.
So that's really, we took this off, her little ductwork for a clutch cover, just because, I mean, it kind of looks ridiculous sitting there. But we put our pre-filter material, which was not frog skin like on a razor vent, but it just let way too much dust and even water down in there. And that's why she had problems at Black Mountain. Her clutch just got immediately dirty in one ride to where it was sticking. So if you watch the whitetail crawl, the lower rock garden video when she killed it, and it happened on Crawford's Cry too, and a couple more times where the clutch wouldn't disengage. It was so dirty. So we got that on there for now, just to get it up out of the way, and figure out what we got, something better to make it look a little aesthetically cleaner than the big old floppy thing hanging out there.
So far I've been running Rhino axles, just the Rhino 2.0s.
Yeah.
With like gear reduction, it hasn't seemed like too much stress on the axles.
Yeah. And probably something we've done on both machines that we haven't talked about was the Razor Aid All Things UTV Tender Springs.
I'm happy with it. I mean, she kind of feels like just bouncing along on marshmallows. I mean, some stuff might look rough, but I might have a high tolerance for the rough stuff too, but you just don't even notice it.
And I mean, I can't, you would think Polaris after all these years would quit selling models brand new, like the 4-seater. The springs are already squashed. You know, that is a design by Polaris just to keep that big mainspring in check, so they don't have to have find somebody to build them a big custom length spring. So what these things do, it kind of changes it to a dual rate setup, kind of not, just because the scientifics about it isn't right. That's a way heavier spring than what it should be. So it really makes your spring setup a whole lot softer than what a true dual rate system would be. But for trail riding and crawling like we do, it's fantastic. I mean, I like it. I really like it. I don't see the need to go anything else. And we've heard people say, you know, the full, say, shock therapy setup just isn't really what they like doing what we do. And I'm sure some people would say that they love it. So, but cheap fix for the squatted springs, and really like the way that it handles. So you're going to me now.
Yeah, I think they've heard enough about sprinkles.
And Vlad's not any different. You know, we've got the All Things UTV. We've got the Radioactive Designs bash plate, which that is taken. Let's see if we can look. If it's not too dark, that thing's taken a beating, and it's not even scratched, really. So, I mean, it's scratched and scuffed up, but still got plenty of ground clearance. And I guess he's making a thing now where he can extend it up under your motor, so we're gonna have to check that out.
Yes.
Which that's a must, because your turbo transmissions sit below the frame rails. And even on 1,000, you know, the factory plate just gets crashed up under there. So, and of course our clutching, you know, that's probably the gear reduction and the clutching is by far the biggest improvement we've ever done to a RZR riding like we do. I mean, it is, you know, we hadn't rode for a while and we got riding over Bedford, and just the way the clutch grabs and grips is just so good. Super ATV tie rods. We broke a tie rod end earlier on in the year, really before we started videoing, and replaced it with that. Didn't say much about it. I'm still running stock axles, stock drive shaft. Hers is stock drive shaft. And we're not having really any problems with them. I got a bent left rear that we need to replace. It's just a matter of going out in the trailer and getting the spare to do it. So that's about it. Other than, I don't know why I wanted it, had to have it. It's just one of those things that you're like, I really like that. And it is something that I could do myself for, you know, just with stuff we have around the shop. But we found the eyebrow light harness on eBay. It was like $30. So it just kind of gives it a little personalized look. I don't know that it adds any horsepowers. But another thing too is, you know, we get a lot of questions about belts, and that's always a hot topic. What's the best belt? We ran the stock and aftermarket Assassins, which I think is just G-Boost. And then she's got the HunterWorks belt on hers, the thick belt, just a little thicker. And she does, hers engages about, what I say the other day, about 100 RPM less than mine.
Yeah.
She really likes the way it feels. I've got a G-Boost belt in mine that was actually glazed over a little bit, not bad, from burning up the belts before we did the clutching. And it's still in there and it doesn't slip, you know, what I call slip. You'll still see some videos where we got to give it a little bit more gas to get the clutches to grab, but you know, that slip's acceptable. Trying to get up on a ledge or something. But I don't know, just had a lot of questions about, you know, what we're running and stuff. No sway bars, front or rear, on either one of them. And you know, doing like what we do, you want it to articulate and be able to do. And this is just an example of just how soft, you know, our suspension is now. I mean, it feels really good. Some people freak out about not running sway bars, but I wouldn't have it any other way, especially with the four-seater, riding like we ride. I wouldn't take a turn at 65 miles an hour and make a hard left without any sway bars, or maybe even with sway bars. But just an update video, I guess. Sorry if it bored you to death. We just had some questions, people asking about it. You know, our reductions are the lowest we can get. And it's been great. So that catches us up to date on everything, I think. I did put the B&M Hill Killer shifter in mine. Finally, Amber said I had to have it. And it just, for a 4-seater, it is so nice. If you're turning around and you can't make that hard turn, just a back and forth and do your 15-point turnaround and get going. So it's nice. And it'll be nice if there's ever the circumstance where you have to grab reverse real quick. So ghosts.
Mystery noises at the shop.
So I guess that about wraps it up. You guys ain't got anything else to do, come to Badlands this weekend, March 20th, Saturday. And let's just get some riding and some filming and hang out, have a good time in.
Yes.
Before the riding season really gets kicked off.
Although, yeah, people say we never quit.
Yeah. That's true.
Even though we definitely love the summer better.
Yeah, we got deer hunting and stuff to do in the wintertime. And
More daylight hours,
yeah.
more comfortable weather when you're Amber.
Mm-hmm. Amber wears
not-
sweatshirts when it's July and 100 degrees out.
Particularly fond of riding in the winter with nothing to keep me warm. I'm all out in the open. So Steven, but he's more tolerant of the cold than I am.
Yeah, well, I do have the fan still up front, so it kicks some heat on you every once in a while.
I
I guess
got-
that's too, is we're gonna kind of close this up a little bit. We're gonna get some time. We're gonna put full doors on this and probably a roof. Just enclose it a little bit more. Just never stop tinkering with them. I guess we always find something we want to do. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we see some of you guys up at the Badlands this weekend.
Yes.
Thanks.